After topping speeds of 270 kilometers an hour, Cyclone Mocha appears to be losing some of its intensity. But the storm has been deadly after it made landfall this morning. And since then, it's been lashing the Bangladesh and Myanmar coastline. The CBC's Dominic Velitis has more.
Cyclone Mocha arrived on the coasts of Bangladesh and Myanmar at about 2 p.m. local time, so about 4 a.m. Eastern time. We've seen wind speeds today in the region of 250 kilometers an hour, and those winds have whipped up storm surges. There has been significant flooding. The Myanmar port city of Sittwe has been hit particularly hard. Buildings have been damaged there and in other parts of the country, especially in the northern part of Rakhine State. The United Nations is saying about 6 million people are now in need of humanitarian assistance, while around 1.2 million have been displaced. There is some more encouraging news. Officials in Bangladesh say the densely populated cluster of refugee camps in Cox's Bazar, where 1 million plus Rohingya refugees are currently residing, that has been largely spared by this storm, which we are told is now gradually weakening. Aid agencies in both Bangladesh and Myanmar have been preparing for this. A huge emergency plan swung into operation before the storm hit. Hundreds of thousands of people in low-lying areas were evacuated from their homes to safer areas and cyclone shelters. Disaster response teams, trained volunteers and medics are now standing by to help in affected areas, and we're told thousands of emergency shelter kits, hygiene kits and water containers are ready to be handed out. Aid agencies pre-positioned as well hundreds of tons of dry food. Indeed, they say they are ready to provide 50,000 daily hot meals if they are required. Dominic Velitis, CBC News, London.
Joining us with more now on the cyclone, we've reached Arjun Jain. He's the United Nations Principal Coordinator for Rohingya Refugee Response, and he joins us from Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh. Thank you so much for making some time for us. We do appreciate this.
Good evening from Cox's Bazar, Hillary.
What are you seeing on the ground right now?
Well, it's quite late already. It's been a really busy 10 days where we've been anticipating the cyclone and we've been preparing for it on a no regrets basis. We've had everything in place until the last minute, including the evacuation of some of the refugees who were in hospitals and in low-lying areas. For the past 24 hours, we have seen the cyclone steadily approach Cox's Bazar, and the southernmost tip in Teknaf, which hosts a few 100,000 refugees, has probably taken the brunt of the cyclone in Bangladesh. So we have seen high wind speeds, we have seen extensive rains, we have seen these very, very weak shelters being destroyed, various facilities being destroyed in the camps and also outside. We have been extremely lucky that the government of Bangladesh has had extensive experience in dealing with cyclone preparedness and finding solutions to that. And so evacuations both outside the camps, but also for some inside the camps, has been made possible.
And Arjun, as you and I are speaking, we're looking at some of these images right now, some of the video of the wind, of the rain. You can see people who are really barely standing upright as that wind comes in as well. Talk to us a little bit about the refugee camp. Of course, like you were just saying, 1 million people, the world's largest one. What sort of aid is going to be needed now for some of these people?
Well, we've been very lucky until now, and Canada has been a significant contributor to supporting the Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. But funds are really drying out and drying out rapidly, and it's not been a particularly good year for the Rohingya. The Rohingya, as you noted, Hillary, are living in one of the most densely packed habitations in the world. And their shelters are made out of bamboo and tarpaulin, easily flammable and easily uprooted during a cyclone such as this. The facilities that they go to, they visit schools and other facilities are also made of similar fragile material that is easily torn down. And this year has been tough for them. We started off with a 17% food cut in their food rations, and we expect another ration cut because of a lack of funding that is available to us. Just a couple of months ago, there was a massive fire that left 16,000 Rohingya refugees homeless. There have been subsequent fires, and now we've had this cyclone. And the monsoon season hasn't even arrived yet. And the monsoon season, with its own high winds and rains, is going to flood the camps most likely. So we're going to see a lot of damage once again to shelters, to infrastructure, and fundamentally bringing life in the camps to a halt.
Arjun, I have about 30 seconds left here. You've already outlined some of them, but once this storm passes, what's your biggest concern for the people who are in the camp?
We can't rebuild. We just don't have the money to rebuild. We expect thousands of people to be homeless, a lot of facilities to be damaged, and money is dwindling. We don't even have money to feed them properly. So that is currently our biggest concern right now, Hillary.
Well, Arjun, we want to thank you for your time and for coming on and speaking with us about all of this. Thank you. And we do hope, of course, that storm does pass and that you're able to get the help to those people who so desperately need it. Thank you.